my god, guys, this is definitely the biggest change to Minecraft maybe ever. I don't know what to say. Minecraft 1.18 Experimental Snapshot 1 has finally released. We thought we were getting snapshots in September, and it's not even halfway through July. This is so cool. So, you're not going to be able to find this in your Minecraft launcher right away. You're going to have to download it from a website. It's minecraft.net, and you have to go to the article that has the patch notes, and you will be able to find a download link. I will link it in the description, and you can get it for yourself. Just download it, put it, extract it, then put it in your versions folder in .minecraft, and then you can play the snapshot. First thing on the patch notes: new world height and depth. So the world can go all the way up to Y320, and it also goes down past Y0 all the way to Y minus 64. And there's cool caves. But we'll get into the caves in a second, because the next thing on the patch notes is the new mountain biomes. So we have 5 new biomes for the mountains. We have the lofty peaks, snow-capped peaks, grove, meadow, and snowy slopes. So we're going to start with the lofty peaks. By the way, this seed, if you want to see it, I've had so many cool things found in the seed. This is the snowy slopes and the lofty peaks. So the lofty peaks look a lot like the snowy slopes, but I think these just lead up to the lofty peaks, or they're a little shorter. So you'll see we're at the snowy slopes, and once we get a lot higher, we're at the lofty peaks. And this is really cool. We have new ore distribution. So up here you'll find more, I think maybe emeralds, but I haven't seen that. But you'll also find a lot more coal and iron. Snowy slopes, I think this is. Yeah, snowy slopes leading up to the lofty peaks, and they look very similar, but I think the lofty peaks are higher. Let's move on to the next biome, which is the snow-capped peaks. So this is the snow-capped peaks. You'll see that they look a lot like the lofty peaks, I think it was called. I already forgot. But it's more stone, and I think it goes higher. See, these are all the way at almost Y200. This is the highest part of this area, and it's at Y180. And if we look over there, my new favorite biome in the game, the meadow. The meadow looks a lot like a plains biome, but I think it has the color of, like, the grass is the color of spruce biomes, I think. Possibly. But there's also a lot of flowers. I think it's mostly blue orchids and oxeye daisies. And it leads up to the snow-capped peaks and all the new mountain biomes, and it just looks so cool. So, if the world will load in, you will see that this is a grove. It's like a snowy taiga, but it kind of leads up. The ground is all snow blocks, and it leads up to the mountains. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. Okay, well that is all of the new mountain biomes. So now we can go on to the cave generation. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Look at the water. What? This is the bluest water I've seen in my life. I don't actually think it fits with the biome very well, but it looks cool. We're gonna go down here and I'll show you the new caves. I think this is a crack cavern that kind of leads down into a cave. It kind of oh, glow squid. So, first of all, you'll notice that there are little patches of water. Some of them are bigger than others, but there are little patches of water at different Y levels. See, that one's a little lower than that one. There's one down there, I think, that is a lot lower than all of these. And that is because they have added local water and lava levels. So, another thing is with lava. You'll see there's the little patches at the typical height. Oh, well, usually they're at Y11 and stuff, but this one's at Y minus 10. This one's at maybe around minus 30, minus 40. And there's big, like, lava lakes under here. Let's see if we can find one there. Like this. And this is all the way at Y minus 54. That's cool. So we're going to start with the cheese caves, and I will explain why they're called cheese caves when we find one. Found one! So, this is a cheese cave, and they're very, very big. And the reason why they're called cheese caves is because they have little parts in it, like holes, that lead to bigger areas. You'll see like that, and there's another thing maybe around here, something like that. And it kind of represents the holes in Swiss cheese. So that's why they're called cheese caves. Next up is spaghetti caves, and I think this is a good example of one. Maybe right up here. Yeah, this seems good. So a spaghetti cave is kind of like a spaghetti noodle, and it kind of goes around. They're smaller, but they kind of wiggle around and swerve into the bigger caves. And then there's the noodle caves, which they're usually bigger than this, but here's one, and they're kind of like spaghetti caves, but they're a lot smaller, and I think they wrap around a little more than the spaghetti caves. So you'll see this one kind of looks like a snake, and this one kind of goes down and curves like a little bit. But those are the three new cave types. And now we can look at the new cave biomes. This is the lush cave, and oh my god, this is so cool. It's got the big drip leaf, it's got the small drip leaf. It goes from the surface. You can see the spore blossoms, goes all the way down. This is a cheese cave, by the way. This is a noodle cave, by the way. It's just so cool. And it's got a mob spawner. That's interesting. And yeah, that's pretty much the lush caves. But now we can head to the next biome, which is the dripstone cave. And this is really cool. So if you've played in 1.17, you probably would have seen that there's little small patches of dripstone and pointed dripstone. But now we have the actual biome, and this generates across the caves. Oh my gosh, I've not seen one like this. This is so cool. Whoa. So you have the dripstone blocks and the pointed dripstone, which is the stalagmites and the stalactites. I think that is what they're called. Yeah, stalagmites on the floor, stalactites on the ceiling. Next up is natural variation in terrain shape and elevation independently from biomes. And I think that's just to where you have the regular like plains biomes, desert biomes, forest biomes, but they've changed it to where if they generate next to a mountain, then they can kind of slope up. So we have a forest, but instead of its usual forest look, it's kind of flat with a few hills, it leads up to the mountain, so the elevation has changed. I think that's what that's all about. Next up, new ore distribution. The distribution is a bit different. So right here you'll see 1.17 and earlier generation for ores. There was a lot of coal and iron. I think down here was diamonds. There's lapis, gold, redstone, and is that emerald? I think so. But now we're at the 1.18 ore distribution. As you can see, it is still not final. So be aware that this is subject to change. But you can see that the world height is a lot higher and the world depth is a lot lower. So we have emeralds generating very commonly at the top of the world, where if there's mountains, then there will most likely be emeralds up here. Same with iron and coal. Coal has a very, I guess, the same generation in this section, but you'll also see that the coal around here, it generates like this. So it'll generate from around maybe, oh, what is that? Is that Y192? It'll start there and it'll go all the way to around Y0, but it kind of extends out, so you'll find more around here because it shows right here, height is where and the width is how much. So for emerald, you'll find more at the top, same with iron, and then coal, you'll find a lot here, and then around this area from 192 to 0, you'll find more at around 96. Interesting. Over here it says reduced air exposure. When an ore block is about to be placed, if it is exposed to air, then it has a certain chance of being skipped. Okay, so chances are you will find less ores on the surface and more behind a bunch of blocks, so like in the walls. But you'll see the most important one, I'd say, is diamonds. So the lower you go in the world, you will find more diamonds. So at Y-64 you'll find the most, but you can't find any at Y64 because that's all bedrock. But the highest you can find it is Y16, and it's very rare. So I would say if you're going mining, go around Y-48 because it's not too low in the world, but it's also got a good amount of diamonds. So this is the ore distribution currently. Next change, I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but I will look around for a while and see if I can show you. But they are the ore veins, and this is one of my favorite features in 1.18. I think they're so, so cool. So while I'm looking for one, I should explain what they are. So they're very rare. I've seen a few in the data pack that they put out, but they're not easy to come across. So there's two different types. There's copper ore veins and iron ore veins. Iron ore veins will look a little bit like this. Hold on. You'll have like a patch of, or I guess like a line of, whatever this is called, tuff. And it goes around. They're massive. They're giant. And they think of noodle caves, but like the opposite. So instead of the caves being open for you to walk in, it's just patches of blocks and like deep slate ores, and you can find a bunch, and they're kind of scattered around like this. And very rarely you'll find a block of raw iron and stuff like that. And you can also find the copper ones. So instead of tuff, it'll be granite, and instead of the ores and raw ores, it'll be copper ore and raw copper. So that's what they are. I'm still gonna look for one so I can show you, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I didn't find one. Moving on. Now, this is actually a very, very, very cool change. Monsters will only spawn in complete darkness. So the light level has to be 0. Instead of it being 7 or lower, it has to be 0. And that might seem like, okay, cool. It has to be completely dark. But think about it, okay? You have, hold on, let me get effects clear. Is that how I do it? Yeah, okay. So we've got ourselves a little room. Let's see if I can make one. Okay, I've made a little room. Looks very nice. Now, let's get a torch. You know, you want to light this place up because you're over on the mountain and this is your home, and you're like, oh, monsters are going to spawn. So you're lighting things up, you know. But in order to fully light this place up, you need kind of a lot of torches. Now it's all lit up. I think. Yeah. But let's say you had a few less torches on this side and more on the other side. So now it's a little more dark here. Let's see the light level over here. Let's see. Light is 7 block. So mobs could spawn here. It's lit up by a torch, but not fully. So mobs could still spawn because before 1.18, monsters could only spawn at light levels 7 or below. But now they can only spawn at light levels 0. So now nothing can spawn here. So you don't need near as many torches to light up your place. Over here, the light level is 3. Monsters still can't spawn. Let's see. Let's see how many torches I need to light this place up. I think it might just be these 3 corner blocks. In each corner, mobs can only spawn in those. So if we get another torch, put it around there, and there, and maybe there, and there. And we break this. Let's see if there's light level 0 anywhere. Nope. Nope. This is fully lit up. There is not a single block that has a light level of 0. Not even here. That's 5. So you only need 4 torches now to light up this entire place. What about the center? 8. What? I've just narrowed it down to 3 torches, and still nothing can spawn here. That is so crazy. So now you can have mood lighting. So let's say we want a little hallway over here. Let's make one right here. Usually you would have to light it up quite a bit because, you know, it's going to get dark and monsters are going to spawn in this hallway. But now you can have it go pretty far. Let's see, what's the light level here? It's 1. What about here? That's 0. So if we cover this up and we have this place, nothing can spawn in this corridor, but the torch is all the way over here. So it can kind of get dark, and then we can, you know, just darker places and still have no mob spawn. This is great. I used to never use soul torches ever because they put out so little light, and you would have to use so many to actually stop mob spawns. But now you need so much less. In fact, if you have a little torch somewhere, then you might only need to use the soul torches or the soul lanterns for decoration. What? So this is definitely a change that I am very, very excited about. So I'm gonna be building with this feature a lot maybe in snapshots or maybe in the future, I don't know. But that's so crazy to think. 3 torches and everything, including that dark hallway, is lit up. Oh yeah, and the big mountains. Well, that's all I got for you today. I know it is kind of a long video, but I really wanted to show everything that was new. And it is a really big snapshot, even if it is just an experimental snapshot. The same thing, I'm pretty sure, is on Bedrock. So if you play on Bedrock Edition, if you have the beta, then you can turn on experimental features and you can play with all this stuff. It's so cool. But anyways, that's all. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, then please leave a like. And if you really liked it, then subscribing would be great. It would help all of us out. It would help you out.